So basically, after a lot of deliberation, it was a tough choice to leave IIM Ahmedabad because, as they say, A is A. I would not say crack CAT, I would say manage CAT because managing CAT is basically managing everything that's going around. And the second thing is that in CAT, while managing your expectations, you should always know that okay, if I cannot crack CAT this year, I do have a cushion behind me. So just keep that mindset from day one. Like it's just an exam. If you ace it, you go to a good college. Otherwise, you have other options as well, like you have GMAT or anything.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Vivek Banerjee. He scored 99.52 percentile in CAT 2022 and he has converted IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore and Lucknow, and he's going to join IIM Bangalore soon. He's a working professional with over 4 years of work experience. Coming to his educational background, he pursued B.Tech from IIT Madras. Today he's with us to share his CAT preparation journey and also his B school experiences. He's going to give us some valuable tips on how to prepare for the MBA interview. So hi Vivek, welcome to Crack Interview series and a very big congratulations on converting IIM A, B and L.
Thank you. That was really nice of you to mention my whole background and my converts. And hi everyone. So let me give you a brief introduction on my profile. I am working since 4 years. I have attempted CAT like thrice on serious attempts, and basically this time I have scored a 99.52. So I'll be taking IIM Bangalore, and so my course starts from June 12th. And yeah, looking forward to the beautiful campus as well.
Right. You converted IIM A as well, and so yeah, why would you like to join Bangalore specifically?
So basically, after a lot of deliberation, it was a tough choice to leave IIM Ahmedabad because, as they say, A is A. But then the first reason being that IIM Bangalore has offered me a merit scholarship of 6 lakhs for my composite scores figuring in the top cohort of the incoming selection scores. And the second reason being that I'm an engineer with a work experience of over 4 years. So I believe my aspirations and goals post MBA, they align more with what IIM Bangalore has to offer than what I can actually achieve in IIM Ahmedabad. So after a lot of research and speaking to a lot of seniors and my batchmates who are currently in IIM Ahmedabad and Bangalore as well, I have come down to this decision to join IIMB.
Great. Yeah, now speaking of your MBA journey and CAT preparation, so can you tell us when did you start preparing for CAT? You said you have this was your third attempt, right? So what mistakes have you done in your previous attempt, and so how did you improve on that, and what led to your improvement?
Yes, so my first serious CAT attempt was in 2020 where I had scored 99.0. But in that year, what happened was my DILR took a hit. I used to just give mocks for the sake of giving mocks, just to increase the number of mocks I'm giving rather than analyzing and just going about identifying my weak points or further strengthening my strong points. So what happened was from considering the day one when I had given the mocks and on the day -3 where I had given my last mock, the curve, the improvement curve was not quite a lot because my preparation plan was not that great. And so even after 99.0 being a general engineering male, of course it was an eye opener for me that I could not get calls from Lakhs. And so basically, yeah, that was so disheartening that after getting a 99.0 you don't get Lakhs calls. Okay, but whatever happened, I again attempted CAT 2021. This time what happened was my preparation plan was fine. I gave over 50 mocks, but what I realized was however good you might be, it all boils down to the D-Day. So on the D-Day in DILR, I kind of stumbled upon a wrong set. I tried to pick it up and I could not leave it because, as they say in many, even in the CrackU learning series, that you have to let go of your ego while attempting a set. I could not let go of that because it was a very lucrative set of 6 questions. So that just brought my marks down, and I scored around a 70-75 percentile in DILR. And of course, after knowing how I had performed there, the eventual performance, you can see that in my quants. So as being an engineer, I really like quants, but given the mindset on the D-Day, I really spoiled my quants as well. So I ended up with a 94%. So this year from my last 2 years, I had learned two things: that you should have a good preparation plan in place. You should know how you should manage your expectations on the D-Day. So when you manage your expectations on a D-Day, there are two things that you know, okay, you have prepared well, you have that ability to crack CAT. And I would not say crack CAT, I would say manage CAT, because managing CAT is basically managing everything that's going around. And the second thing is that in CAT, while managing your expectations, you should always know that okay, if I cannot crack CAT this year, I do have a cushion behind me. So just keep that mindset from day one that CAT is not the end of anything. Like it's just an exam. If you ace it, you go to a good college. Otherwise, you have other options as well, like you have GMAT or anything.
Right.
So CAT is just one of the exams. So yeah, just practice this while giving the mocks also. Manage your expectations. Like take expectation mocks are also kind of mocks which you should be like doing continuously rolling up in your mind.
Yeah.
So that helps for your D-Day. Yeah, and that's what actually helped me more than my preparation. I would be very honest.
Right.
For this year.
Exactly. So it's a good way of putting it. It's not about cracking CAT, it's about managing CAT and handling the stress well. I think that has helped you crack CAT this time.
Majorly, yes. Actually, I had actually taken, you can say 20% of my mocks from CRACU. And I believe that the thing that actually helped me a lot is the daily practice tests. Because as I mentioned while in my CAT preparation strategy,
Right.
that you should have a preparation plan in place. What CRACU does is it rather simulates that preparation for you and gives you questions in bunches of 10 or 15 if I remember correctly, and you actually have a set of questions that you can practice daily, so that keeps you in the flow. And it doesn't let like when you take a mock, you don't feel that okay, it's been a week since I practiced few questions. So that's what I really like about daily practice. So I actually recommend everyone to go for
Right, the daily targets.
the daily targets.
Correct. All right, now moving on to your interview process. So, what all calls have you received, and how did you prepare for each stage of the IIM interviews, like VAT, AWT, and then also PI? So, yeah, how did you prepare for the personal interviews?
Yes, so I had applied for IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, and Lucknow. I had received calls from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Lucknow.
Okay.
All three of which I could convert, fortunately. And yes, so the first step is that happens in the selection process post your interview calls is the what and AWT for Ahmedabad. So that's a bit different from what. So I had taken up coaching from three different institutes for my WAT and AWT. And basically, what I could gather from those resources was that what is all about not more. It's not about your subject knowledge, but rather how you can brief your points in a concise way and put forward to the one who's checking your what and give your basic idea that you want to convey and so if suppose for example, to be more precise, IIM Bangalore had a 400 words what if I remember correctly, and they had a time of 30 minutes. So the first 10 minutes you need to for the first 5 minutes you need to ideate. In the next 20 minutes you need to actually put in your content, make paragraphs, 3 or 4 paragraphs. And what I realized was in the last 5 minutes all went down to actually cutting down words. So that is something which you need to practice, like briefing your ideas very. So what is this is about the what, and about AWT it all boils down to how you how critically you think. Like suppose given 4 sentences in front of you, how critically you can think and give 4 reasonings from that passage rather.
Right.
So that's how AWT tests you. And I think I had prepared for this for 1 month, not in one, I think for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks I had prepared on this, but I think when you prepare it, you should be very focused on what exactly you're looking for at the end of each preparation session.
Right. Yeah. All right. Now coming to the specific interview experiences of the IIMs, and yeah, were there any tricky situations or tricky questions that they asked, and how did you tackle such questions?
Sure. So let me first start with IIM Bangalore because
Sure.
that's the campus I'll be joining. So IIM Bangalore interview had three members in the panel in which I was
Okay.
about to give my interview. I was last in my panel, so I had actually seen the highs and lows of the students previously. So just to not see that any further, I took a nap till then.
Okay.
So and after that, the last person came and I was actually awake because I knew my turn is next. And then basically, I went in and they kind of they were just very direct in starting the interview. They just mentioned to me, okay, you have a good profile. You're working in JP Morgan Chase. Why MBA? That's how it started.
Okay.
And then they moved. They told that we'll start with your work experience from EY, then EXL, then JP Morgan, and what all have you done currently, and what all have you done in these firms, and what are you doing currently? And they picked up specific projects, like the most important project which I feel I have worked on in each of these firms, and they went deep into this. So that's how Bangalore interview is structured. And at the end, I had mentioned that I would want to go. Currently, I'm in the payments analytics side for JP Morgan Chase products. They said, and I had framed my post MBA goals on the lines of I want to pursue product management. Like I want to go to the business side of a product. So they asked me, okay, have you thought about any product? So luckily, like which you would like to innovate from your side, because it needs some mindset, a bent of mind towards innovation as well. So luckily, I had actually on the previous day I was going through some articles, and I thought, maybe we can tweak this product in such a way. I mentioned that to the interviewers, and they seemed impressed. They seemed really like their expressions were like, okay, maybe he is actually thinking on the lines of what he wants to pursue post MBA. So I think that actually gave helped me give a lasting impression in IIM Bangalore interview. Yeah, and so IIM Bangalore interview is all about this. Yes, tricky situations, they might try to make be very honest with you at one point, and then maybe see, okay, if you're giving up your position and maybe just becoming very conversant with them, so this is actually not a good sign if you're facing a client. So they see how you manage your personality even when the situations around you are like dynamic.
Right, right.
And the second, okay, so and this was about IIM Bangalore. I think I've highlighted the most important points. For IIM Ahmedabad, I believe that IIM Ahmedabad tests you more on how you can think on the field, and they cross question you a lot. So there were two panelists in my panel, and they started with my current work experience, JP Morgan. They went on asking me about RBI regulations on the fintech market. That you can see that basically in Bangalore, the interviews spanned across three firms.
Okay.
In Ahmedabad, they just went deep into RBI regulations on fintech, and that there was a lot of cross questioning.
Right.
And after that, they kind of it's been 4 years since I pursued civil engineering. So it was a funny moment when they asked me, okay, they rather assumed, okay, you must not remember anything about civil engineering, and I just nodded that yes, I surely don't, but we can maybe try with some questions, and yeah, that kind of made a good impression there. And they asked me about earthquake resistant buildings, and I think they asked me about bridges. What I felt in the earthquake resistant building questions was that they knew I don't have much subject knowledge on that, but they wanted to test me that on the spot how well I can think and provide them with an answer.
Okay.
So I could do that, luckily, and so that's how they see, okay, if how well your convincing abilities are. And yes, a tricky situation in between was they asked me about current affairs.
Okay.
They are, so there was a ma'am in my panel, and she asked me that, do you follow current affairs and the news regularly? I don't. So I had to tell them that, ma'am, I have recently started following up with the news, but it's not that I do that on a very regular basis, that I am in touch with everything that happened in the last 2 or 3 years. But what happens is, if someone just says it and stops it gives a bad impression. What I did was, what I had actually thought of doing before the interview was, if someone asks me this, I'll just continue. I continued by saying that, ma'am, instead of this, I pursue other hobbies in this time. So then they were intrigued, okay, what do you pursue? I told I am a rifle shooter. And so rifle shooting is an uncommon hobby. So they kind of asked me a few things about rifle shooting, how I picked up, and I had picked it up when I was in Delhi. In Bangalore also I'm currently pursuing. So that showed that, okay, if I have picked an interest, I would like to keep in touch with. So
Right.
that steered everything to a good side.
Right. You got some brownie points there.
Of course I did. Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, you actually navigated quite well through the interview. And yeah, finally, what is that advice that you would like to give to the future CAT aspirants and MBA aspirants?
First thing, cat is not the end of the world. Second thing, if it's not end of the world, it doesn't mean you give up on cat.
Right.
Third thing, please start your preparation from the month of May or June. If you're an a non-engineer and your week in con starts from March, and if you're an engineer, you might as well slack it to May or June. But then, yeah, don't make later than June. And after that, the fourth thing that I would want to say is manage your expectations well. Don't stress yourself out on the D-Day. Pre-D-Day experiences for me. From based on that, I would say that don't take any mocks, don't revise any concepts on the last 2 days before the D-Day. Please don't. Because you need a good night's sleep
Right.
before CAT.
Correct.
That is the most important before D-Day. And I think one more point which I would want to add is that after you go to the center, please don't interact with many students. Many might give their insights and all.
Yeah.
Some might be mind-boggling or whatever. So please don't.
All right.
So these are the points I would like to mention, and yeah, and all the best to everyone who's looking forward for CAT. I hope you convert your dream colleges.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Vivek. You gave some extremely valuable tips on not just CAT and also how to prepare for B School interviews. And thank you so much for sharing your B School interview experiences. It'll definitely help a lot of CAT aspirants and also many MBA aspirants. So thank you so much and all the very best for your MBA journey at IIM Bangalore.
Thank you so much. It was really great interviewing with Jackie and providing the insights that I've gathered through these 3 years. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.